Sung Jinwoo has returned, stronger than ever after gaining his new class as a necromancer. He looks exhausted, but just then, a call from Gina wakes him from his sleepy haze. His sister asks if he remembers today's parent-teacher meeting for her, snapping him fully awake, and soon he's at school, looking like a true star, leaving even Gina amazed. Gina wonders if this really is her brother, as he plays innocent and says, "What's so strange?" Normally Jinwoo wears gym clothes, but for this important meeting, he dressed up to not embarrass his sister in front of friends and teachers. Along the way, groups of female students are captivated by Jinwoo's handsome appearance, and Gina, seeing this, jokes if he needs introductions, knowing he doesn't have a girlfriend yet. He sighs and pinches her cheek, scolding her lightly for being too nosy. Inside, the homeroom teacher praises her as an outstanding student, exemplary in character, and grades a true role model for her peers. Hearing this, Jinwoo smiles brightly, always striving to give her the best. The teacher mentions that Gina's mock exam scores are high enough for medical school, as per her aspirations. They advise not to put too much pressure on her, letting her grow naturally. As the meeting ends, the teacher, fond of the student, adds more, asking if, as her brother, Jinwoo would support Gina if she awakened as a hunter. Jinwoo firmly promises never to let her take such a dangerous path like his own. The teacher feels relieved and requests one more thing about Song-yi. That afternoon, Jinwoo meets her, and at first, she doesn't recognize him because he's changed so much. Getting straight to the point, he shows a photo of himself with Gina. He didn't expect the world to be so small, turns out. She's Gina's friend. Song-yi knows the teacher mentioned something to him, so she firmly refuses to attend hunter school. Jinwoo, with his experience, explains that as an E-rank hunter, she couldn't earn a living that way. He suggests joining his team for some quick cash like before, but admits such opportunities are rare. Song-yi ignores him, retorting that she's also E-rank like him. Jinwoo is lost for words at her naivety and says he'll support her as a hunter, but only if she listens to him. The scene shifts to the airport, welcoming an unwanted guest back to Korea. Jinchul meets the S-rank hunter Hwang Dong-soo. He mocks the country as musty as ever and is surprised by the personal welcome from the association's manager. Asked how long he'll stay, Hwang says he doesn't like the place enough to linger. Jinchul knows why he's back. It's about the two linked to Hwang Dong-soo's brother's death. Hwang acts bitter, telling him not to pretend. If it were just about meeting those two, the association wouldn't be monitoring him so closely. First, Hwang wants to eliminate Jinwoo over dungeon events, without consequences, and if Jinchul tries to stop him, so be it. He claims he's just fulfilling his duties. The scene cuts to Go Gun-hee and Choi Jong-in, whose team has recovered a monster's body from the sea. It seems these creatures are trying to fly to new lands, though they can't yet. If left unchecked, they'll pose a huge threat. That evening, Song-yi is taken by Jinwoo to a training gate. Earlier, he contacted Sang-min for help, and despite being tricked before, Sang-min is glad to assist. They realize Song-yi is the sister from that time, and Jinwoo apologizes for the bold request. Sang-min doesn't mind, and, hearing about training, is surprised it's for her. This is a great opportunity, as many gates are appearing. A fully armored hunter arrives, and Sang-min introduces him as Kim Chul, an A-rank tank. This training is for young members, with Kim Chul as the leader, though he's annoyed at being stuck with 2 E-ranks. He introduces the team, 1 A-rank, 5 B-ranks, 2 C-ranks, plus Jinwoo and Song-yi. Jinwoo wants to show her the dungeon's harsh reality to make her give up, but it's all strong hunters. For a C-rank gate, it won't scare her off. The assistant reminds Jinwoo not to cause trouble, and the raid team enters casually, with Song-yi excited to go with the handsome Jinwoo. But as they step in, Jinwoo senses something wrong. The green gate suddenly turns red, releasing terrifying energy. He tries to pull Song-yi out, but it's too late. They're trapped. He asks Sang-min to contact the White Tiger's main attack team. After getting the news of the C-rank gate turning red, Baek Yoon-ho is shocked and heads there immediately. Inside, the group is transported to a snowy dimension, isolated from the outside. Kim Chul explains it's a red gate, and Song-yi asks about it. Jinwoo describes it as a special dungeon where you're completely cut off until you defeat the boss. No outside help can reach you, and the monsters are stronger. As he finishes, an arrow flies from afar, killing a C-rank hunter instantly. Song-yi is safe thanks to Jinwoo's protection, shocking the B-rank girl who witnesses it. The team leader detects the Ice Elves, too far to sense their killing intent earlier. If it were 2 months ago, Jinwoo might have been the target. Song-yi looks terrified as the elves gesture threats, and Jinwoo feels the anger building. This is just their greeting. She innocently asks what they are and why they're so vicious. Jinwoo explains that Ice Elves are cruel beings, feared by hunters as the white ghosts of cold regions. Kim Chul stabilizes the team, warning that the gate is now B rank or higher, so they must follow the strong to survive. The lower ranks might be split off, facing freezing or being hunted. He promises safety for those who follow him, so the B ranks agree, while the remaining C rank is pushed away. Jinwoo and Songyi are left behind too. One day here equals an hour outside, and it could last days if the boss isn't defeated. Their only option is to abandon the weak. Kim Chul reassures them not to worry if his group wins, everyone returns. The B-rank girl suddenly joins Jinwoo's side and he agrees. Kim Chul thinks she's pitying them, but she saw Jinwoo catch that arrow bare-handed. The high-rank hunters take the main path, while Jinwoo heads into the forest, wishing each other luck. Later, Kim Chul's team finds claw marks on trees, assuming the E-rank led them to death in bear territory. Others agree, thinking Jinwoo is untrained. Kim Chul wonders why he assumed Jinwoo was leading. Before he can think more, white bears attack, and the team defends, intimidated by their size. Kim Chul uses his taunt skill to draw one in, blocking it easily as an A rank. He slices it apart, but the others charge fiercely. Meanwhile, the girl with Jinwoo questions why he's leading them into danger with bear claw marks everywhere. Min objects, saying it's bear territory, so they should avoid it. Jinwoo counters that going deeper is safer, as they'd only need to watch for bears here, not be hunted by intelligent ice elves. She realizes he's thought it all through. The real issue is the cold. Jinwoo feels it and checks his status to get warm clothes for everyone. They're stunned, as even high-rank hunters can only carry a few spatial items. Songyi asks what kind of person he is. He acts cool, saying he's responsible for bringing her here, so he'll protect her, but she must not ask questions and just follow his decisions. He warns the others not to ask or demand anything from him. The bears sense intruders. The group is terrified, but Jinwoo stands firm, activating his skills to boost his stats. Outside, Baek Yoonho worries, unable to help as an S rank. Sang Min mentions Jinwoo is inside an E rank, possibly a second awakener. Though unconfirmed, he's definitely strong. Tension rises as Jinchul brings Hwang Dong-soo, worsening things. Hwang teases, and Baek Yoonho dislikes him, asking why an American hunter is here. Hwang retorts, questioning why Jinwoo can be involved but not him. As an S rank, he knows a lot, suspecting Jinwoo's death inside. Jinchul is surprised Jinwoo is there, noting his luck in avoiding Hwang. Inside, Jinwoo overwhelms the bears, leaving the group in awe of how an E rank fights so powerfully. Defeating them levels him up. Red gates give more experience. Later, they sit by a fire, roasting bear meat. With Jinwoo, they're safe. The girl calls him strange, but Songyi thinks he's amazing for charging into the bear's den. He summons his shadow army and Igris for their first mission. They clash fiercely. The bears have home advantage and strength, but Jinwoo's army has superior skills, supported by mages. Things go well, though maintaining the shadow soldiers drains mana. The bear leader appears, rampaging through Jinwoo's forces. Magic barely affects it, and its wide area attacks deplete Jinwoo's mana. He sends Igris, who intimidates it, dodges its attack, and slices off an arm, then finishes it. Jinwoo is amazed at Igris's power and praises him. The scene shifts to Kim Chul's team, being chased by ice elves and fleeing in panic. Kim Chul is terrified. Meanwhile, Jinwoo revives the bears as his undead army. Outside, 3 hours have passed, but inside, days have gone by. The environment is harsh, so Hwang Dong-soo assumes Jinwoo's dead, but then spots him, confused since he's not with White Tiger. He had to admit he invited both sides as friends, so when they wanted to explore a C-rank gate, he brought them along. Hearing this, Dong-soo turns but grabs Sang-min's collar, sure he sniffed out something interesting, as that's his specialty. Byun-ho sees his side being bullied and steps in to stop it. Let go of that scoundrel's hand right now. He mocks, asking if hiding in this tiny country gives you the right to order me around. Their immense powers clash, making Sang-min worry as these two clearly despise each other, using this as an excuse to fight. Meanwhile, Kim Chun has returned to the forest, starving and freezing, wondering how long he can survive. He tells himself that with proper gear, he wouldn't lose. Spotting the bear carcasses left by Jinwoo, he's terrified and wonders why he hasn't encountered any ice bears. They've been wiped out. He denies that the E-rank group could have done it, blaming the white ghosts instead. Outside, after the gate freezes over, Soo and Byun-ho launched their punches, but Jinwoo stepped in to block them, begging for mercy before the impact. I didn't break my arm, but he's incredibly strong to dare block blows from 2 S-rank hunters. Soo is suspicious of something, but about 2 months ago, I was the one who checked Min's stats, and confirmed Jinwoo still seemed like an E-rank hunter with no changes. He's still just an E-rank hunter with no changes. The guy doesn't believe it, thinking it's just the tip of the iceberg. That lie works on others, but not him, it's too obvious. After getting a message from someone, he has to leave, calling Min lucky. Sang-min knows Jinwoo's abilities best, so he's sure he'll escape safely. Inside, the trio, the others are laughing and joking without a care, while Min has handled everything perfectly. Kim-chun is furious, wondering why the weak ones survive when his group didn't. They even have warm clothes, tents, and food. Assuming they hid resources, he confronts them, complaining that his team died from lack of food and water. They were just sitting there enjoying it all without sharing from the start, can't accept that he led them to their deaths and tries to blame the three of them. Kim-chun guesses Heejin knew this from the beginning, which is why he stayed. The guy demands they reveal the mastermind or he'll slaughter them all. Just then, Jin-woo arrives, grabs his head, and drags him away to shut him up, scolding the fool. This is truly foolish bringing such dangerous guests along. They could fully sense the hidden forces demanding to reveal themselves, and just like that, an entire army of ice goblins appeared. The most shocking part is that the boss is here too, terrifying the three of them. The opponents were surprised to find a gem hidden among the hunters, leading to a tense exchange that left the Demon King astonished. This is the first time anyone's understood my language. Jin-woo was a bit surprised, and when Heejin asked if he could speak monster tongue too, he realized it was the system's doing and brushed it off. The Demon King found this made conversation easy, so he shared that his scouts reported an incredibly strong human among you. Since I discovered it, I want to fight him. With Min, but before he could finish his sentence, the young man was swiftly sent to his end for daring to mock us yesterday. The two powerhouses clashed with fierce intensity, thrilling the Demon King. He hadn't planned to fight just yet, asking more questions about why a non-human like him would mix with the weak. Jin-woo didn't grasp what he meant, so the Demon King assumed even he himself was clueless. They don't even know who they are. He reveals that the ice ghosts always hear a voice commanding them to kill humans, but in front of Jin-woo, it's silent. This proves Jin-woo is special. Hearing this, Min realizes they're controlled by the system, while he's a player, so they can't hear the orders. The opponent thinks there's no reason to fight anymore. He has a better solution hand over the others, and we won't touch you. Jin-woo doesn't agree right away, asking what they really are and why they're attacking humans for no reason. This question seems blocked by the system, as they can't answer. The Demon King thinks Jin-woo will accept the deal, but why should he? The guy asks. Jin-woo, are you sure you want to make enemies of us? It's completely unfavorable in numbers. He smiles and summons his entire army, asking which side has more. The three stand amid a horde of beasts and are utterly stunned. Heejin is shocked that this is all Jin-woo's doing. The two powerhouses exchange taunts, then unleash their armies in a brutal clash, leaving the rest scrambling to find a way out amid the chaos. Some try to ambush for an escape, but Min shatters their arrows instantly. The young hunter feels the enemy's disrespect isn't entirely wrong. Though immortal, his shadow army drains too much mana, and with the current setup they can't hold out long. Plus the boss is stronger than him, and even with Aegis, victory is uncertain. Min knows it's a tough fight. We need even stronger forces to be sure. The Demon King introduces himself as Boss G and charges back in. Min has some annoying skills for retrieving weapons, but in a one-on-one like this, it won't last. Boss G hasn't had this much fun in ages. As soon as he finishes, Min unleashes a fireball from his mage team, the explosion jolting Kim-chun awake. The young hunter, furious from being beaten, dives in for revenge. The Demon King finds the scene hilarious but doesn't realize it's all part of the plan. Aegis is called to block the view, and when Boss G gets close, he meets a fresh warrior. Turns out Jin-woo logged out the fool and sacrificed him, useless as he was. The young hunter names his new shadow General Iron, since he's an A-rank hunter, making him incredibly useful. He immediately taunts the opponent to draw Boss G in. They're targeting me, but the opponent is an assassin type, so a heavy fighter like me has no chance. Watching from inside, he asks his sister if hunter battles are always this intense. She denies it, saying if she'd seen this before, she never would have become a hunter. The Demon King finds the big guy boring and calls for Aegis to join the fight together. Hearing that, he obliges, and the two charge in unison. The Shadow Generals coordinate flawlessly. Boss G underestimated his opponent, as Jin-woo still had hidden skills waiting. When he let his guard down, he was stabbed, but it missed the vital spot. Jin-woo admits the enemy is strong, but his followers aren't. Glancing back, he sees the entire Ice Goblin tribe has been defeated. Enraged, Boss G charges wildly, only for Jin-woo to throw his weapon away from him. Min's plan is to create a surprise, using his ability to grab objects from afar. Iron is summoned to lock down the target as the mage team unleashes a fiery barrage. Cornered, Boss X screams in rage, only to be ambushed by Min out of nowhere. He declares the battle's over and orders Iron to finish it. Though exhausted, Min levels up successfully, but turning around, he sees that guy is just clowning around, smacking Min's body as a reminder to keep things in check. But Iron doesn't get it and acts all triumphant about the victory. Jin-woo returns to his team, announcing that everything's over as the gate opens on its own, filling the three with overwhelming joy. Outside, the others are still waiting, and their emergence makes Byun-ho misunderstand that it's Kim-chun. It's Kim-chun, but the reality is harsh. Jin-woo and Song-wai are the last to emerge, delighting Sang-min. The gate seals shut, shocking the guildmaster, who asks where the others are. Heejin just bows his head, not understanding what happened inside. Only the low-rank hunters returned. The white tiger blocks him, claiming he's tired and uncooperative, brushing off the hand and saying to ask the other two. Byun-ho thinks this guy's rude for disrespecting him and shifts to battle form as a threat. Since 6 people went missing on his watch, he demands answers. Min glares back, reminding him that he saved those 2 anyway. If he's responsible, he should have said thanks instead. Byun-ho, still shaken, realizes Min is right and lets go, bowing in apology. Once Jin-woo leaves, the guildmaster asks Hin about that guy. Why is he so moody? She doesn't know, as Min's mood soured after defeating the boss. Sang-min defends him, saying he's probably just tired. That's Ithe's not a bad guy. The guildmaster insists on inviting the young hunter by any means. His sister is safely escorted home and shyly calls Min by name, hoping for more favors next time. Jin-woo is baffled, seeing how she's not giving up after that horror. On the way back, he pulls out his battle rewards. That weapon from Boss X Min tried to tease the Demon King with it 3 times but failed, explaining his earlier frustration. The next day, Jin-ho shows up to invite him to work, and seeing his new gear, Jin-woo is at a loss. Today, Song-wai joins too, confusing the kid. They're acting so close that the young hunter is sure his big brother has won her over. At someone's house, so that's why. He reminds Song-wai that she's still a minor, but Min doesn't care. Entering the dungeon, Jin-ho witnesses Min's shadow army in action and is completely awestruck. He asks his big brother what kind of beings they are, they're so powerful. Min replies, it's just one of his skills. Get used to it, because there's more wonders ahead to uncover. If he likes it, it might take time, so whatever. Jin-woo finishes the fight and lets his subordinates handle the looting, stealing his brother's job and leaving him upset. Jin-ho begs his brother to give him this light work instead of the shadows doing it all. He feels useless. Basically, Min just wants to speed things up, shifting scenes to a sinking ship where his dad appears. Jin-woo, the ultra-strong hunter trapped in the gate for years, has returned, but now he's in America. The poor guy doesn't understand English, so he scares the other hunters half to death. That night, MH and his disciple celebrate with drinks after clearing the 19 promised dungeons. Jin-ho is deeply grateful, as this let him talk to his dad. His next goal is the theory exam. At the association, while securing the guildmaster's license, he asked about Sung Jin-woo, and the young man replied he'd be swamped soon, unable to stay in touch. Drunk and emotional, the little brother confessed his fears that his senior might see him as a pesky burden and useless once the initial goals were achieved. So he dared not bother him further and shared about having an older brother, a family tie that felt distant despite the bond. In essence, he didn't dislike this young man at all, so he poured a drink and declared from now on he'd be like a brother. Hearing this, Sung Jin-woo was deeply moved, lost for words, and just like that, they sat feasting and drinking in joyous spirits, gearing up for the adventures ahead. The scene shifts to America, where they couldn't verify the mysterious man's identity, so they locked up Hwang Dong-soo. According to his account, he'd been trapped in the gate for a decade, but strangely, it connected to another gate in America, an unprecedented event. Fearing he might be a monster in human form, they called in another S-rank hunter for interrogation. Hwang Dong-soo, being Korean, would make conversation easier, they thought. Asking the man his name proved tricky to pronounce. It was Seong Jin-hoon. Back to Sung Jin-woo, dawn broke as he bid farewell to his sister, saying he'd be gone for about a week and reminding her to stay safe at home. She teased that he must be overworking and heading off on a vacation, even joking he might be with some girl, leaving him exasperated. The truth was, he headed to the blazing castle to conquer it. His last fight with Zeus left him at level 20, but now he was over 3 times stronger, so theoretically, this place posed no real threat. Stepping through the gate, on the first floor, the system assigned him a quest to slay demons, as the castle was teeming with them. The condition: collect 10 soul tusks from the beasts. It was an overwhelming task, but his real goal lay elsewhere, so this was just a warm-up. Whether it was 10,000 or 100,000 demons, he'd push through. The next day, Jin-ho secured the documents from the association and chatted with the old man, who wanted to manage the guild instead of handing it to his brother. Despite Sung Jin-woo's plans pushing forward, the old man agreed after hearing of his feats. First, the entire attack team of Hwang Dong-soo was wiped out. Then, the supervising hunter killed the criminal. Surviving 2 deadly incidents was no miracle. It was pure power. Recently, Sung Jin-woo and his companion completed all raids to meet the conditions. Just yesterday, the old man learned from the White Tiger Guild about a C-rank gate turning red, causing many high-rank hunters to vanish, with Sung Jin-woo among the few survivors. Thanks to him, his son obtained the guildmaster's license. Befriending someone of that caliber was a boon, so the old man agreed to hand over guild management to Jinho, relying on him instead of his eldest, but with conditions related to recruiting Sung Jin-woo. The White Tiger Guild was eyeing him, but it wasn't going well. If his son was close to him, it would be easier. Jinho promised to bring his senior into the guild, delighting the old man. Back to Sung Jin-woo, he'd slain many demons here, but they couldn't use soul-summoning skills or he'd have an army of dark fiends. The only reward was access permits to higher floors, and ahead, a beam of light beckoned, inviting him onward. This dungeon was vast, like an entire city packed into one building, so the distance was immense. Sung Jin-woo called his bear companion for a swift ride. The leader beast responded to its master's call, charging through enemies without a second thought, like an unstoppable tank crushing the demons. He was truly satisfied, and named the bear Tank. The scene shifts to the S-rank hunter Cha Hae-in, lost in thought about recent events. After retrieving the monster's body, they should have announced it, but her guildmaster kept it secret as per the Hunter Association's request to avoid panic. It was a sensitive time, easily sparking chaos, but thankfully those terrifying creatures couldn't reach them yet, giving time to recruit strong members before the battle began. Back to Sung Jin-woo, he realized this wasn't an S-rank dungeon, it was too easy. The demons here were at most B rank, numerous but brainless, so no real worry. He'd already cleared a few floors, with enough food and water to live normally. He wondered how strong he'd become by the end. Likely 100 floor sand, collecting 10,000 demon souls was the least of his concerns. The real issue was his supplies might last only half a month, instead of a week. The biggest worry was his promise to his sister. Sung Jin-woo pushed harder to finish quickly. After completing the 10,000 soul quest, he faced the boss, who summoned a dark army. A red message warned it was a threat even outside this world. Meanwhile, the White Tiger Guild was trying to recruit him, but they'd lost track for a week. Hae-in and Sang-min knew his strength and were tasked with this. Asking Jinna about him, they learned he was on vacation. It was baffling since investigations showed he hadn't left the country or joined any raids. Sung Jin-woo ordered his shadow soldiers to handle the minions while he took on the boss. Igris led the charge, mowing down enemies. Lately, each level up, Sung Jin-woo invested in intelligence, allowing more shadow soldiers and better energy management than in the Red Gate. He wouldn't run out mid-fight now. Wondering how long the boss would stall, it suddenly lunged from behind in a flash unbelievably fast for its size. Sung Jin-woo dodged and sent it flying. His combat skills had sharpened immensely. The red demon was as tenacious as Zeus once was. As it closed in, Sung Jin-woo summoned Iron Shield to minimize damage, enduring hundreds of powerful strikes. The boss's absurd agility made it tough, but when it tried a finishing blow it got hurt instead. Luckily, he evaded and noticed his movements couldn't fool this creature. To win, he needed to lock down its erratic movements. Sung Jin-woo circled strategically and spotted the perfect trap. The boss's rage made it sloppy, falling right in. Amid the dust, he delivered a lethal strike. Back to Seong Jin-hoon, he'd met Hwang Dong-soo, who called him a monster and warned against talking nonsense as he was already furious. Still, Seong Jin-hoon asked how much humanity knew about the gates and monsters. He explained they were only seeing the tip of the iceberg. Something far more terrifying loomed, a power that could cause the worst catastrophe. Hwang Dong-soo was baffled, but Seong Jin-hoon's goal was to stop that disaster. He thought with so many hunters it might not matter, assessing the other as strong but not enough. Seong Jin-hoon asked if he remembered his son. Jin-woo, of course he did, as he named him. Hearing that name, Hwang Dong-soo's killing intent fled. He was searching for the son and now faced the father. The old man declared Jin-woo dead and challenged him to deny it, leading to a clash where Hwang Dong-soo was utterly defeated. Back in America, Sung Jin-woo had conquered more challenges, leaving even stronger monsters in awe of his shadow army. But with food gone, he had to stop at floor 75, with 25 floors left. It was exhausting, yet the rewards were priceless rare gear boosting his stats. He lacked one piece to activate full effects and had items to empower mages multifold, plus a key with hidden info. His goal was the World Tree Fragment, and 2 rare items to cure his mother's illness. Emerging from the gate, disappointment washed over him, as he still needed one ingredient, the purified blood of the Demon King. To get it, he'd prepare thoroughly. His levels and stats had soared from the Demon Castle grinding, but officially he was still E rank, making top-tier access tricky. Joining raids required a guild, so he decided to drop the E rank act. It'd be exposed anyway. Next, he'd redo his hunter registration. The next morning, at headquarters, the White Tiger Guild was scouting members. Han Ki-chul spotted him and called Baek Yun-ho to invite him personally. Unaware, Sung Jin-woo went for his measurement. He met nervous newcomers, reminiscing about his own start. A companion advised that anything above E rank was enough to live on, making him chuckle. When called, he stated his name and details. Placing his hand on the black orb should give results, but it kept erroring out. The new staff was baffled, asking him to retry, but it failed each time, so they called an experienced colleague. The veteran recognized it wasn't a glitch. Sung Jin-woo's magical power exceeded the device's limits, marking him as the 10th S-rank hunter in Korea. Outside, Choi Jong-in and Jin Chul discussed the feathered monster. Research was dissecting it to analyze cells and residual magic. Lately, strange events unfolded, like the Red Gate at White Tiger, allowing outsiders who ultimately slayed the boss. Choi Jong-in asked if Jin Chul knew the mysterious hunter. He did, but stayed vague, saying he left early. Intrigued, Choi Jong-in headed to the lively waiting area, thinking it was high-rank awakenings causing the fuss. Inside, news of Sung Jin-woo's immeasurable power shocked everyone. Only 9 such cases before, and he was the 10th. The director explained the basics as Sung Jin-woo prepared. Han Ki-chul was thrilled, knowing Sang Min's eye for talent was spot on. Then, Go Gun, Hee's guildmaster, entered, drawing attention as the pinnacle of fire magic, the ultimate weapon. Spotting Sung Jin-woo's aura, Choi Jong-in introduced himself and invited a chat, but Sung Jin-woo brushed it off, claiming he was busy, leaving everyone whispering about his boldness. Choi Jong-in thought he might not have heard the name, so he asked Jin Chul, who confirmed it. Realizing Sung Jin-woo was dismissing him outright, he felt a humbling blow. Just then, Baek Yoon-ho arrived, panting, confirming Sung Jin-woo's importance as the Red Gate boss slayer. Disappointed he left, Choi Jong-in crossed paths with Baek Yoon-ho, someone he avoided discussing Jin-woo with. That night, Sung Jin-woo visited his mother in the hospital, his heart heavy seeing her condition, hoping she'd wait a bit longer for the cure. Outside, he met Jin Chul, who admitted Sung Jin-woo exposed his flaws in judging people. His department monitored hunters and enforced discipline. Sung Jin-woo joked if he was under surveillance now, but Jin Chul assured it wasn't criminal. For S-ranks like him, they had no control. He came to arrange a meeting with someone important. It was Go Gun-hee, the association chairman, no ordinary man. He congratulated Sung Jin-woo on his S-rank confirmation, though not public yet. To facilitate this meeting, they added the re-evaluation step. The association wanted to reach talents before guilds did. Many strong hunters avoided them, drawn to guild fame and wealth. Go Gun-hee was among the rare top A ranks in the association. He got straight to the point, inviting Sung Jin-woo to join as a key ally, offering a high position. He explained that hunters, not the government, protected the nation from monsters, with the 5 major guilds at the core, maintaining a fragile balance. Joining the association would keep that balance while countering the guilds. In his heart, Go Gun-hee thought of passing the chair to Sung Jin-woo someday. It was a solid offer. Association clout meant advancement beyond governments or media. Plus, Go Gun-hee's strength was legendary, an S-rank pioneer, still muscular at 80, but fighting him would be risky. Accepting could rewrite Sung Jin-woo's life, but he politely declined, explaining his path lay in conquering gates. Go Gun-hee's eyes widened at his sincere gaze, evoking long-lost passion, wishing he were younger to join the journey. Sung Jin-woo excused himself, as his sister was alone. Watching him leave, Go Gun-hee recalled the disappointment that even S-rank healers couldn't stop aging, yet felt a youthful fire reignite, cancelling meetings to savor it, inviting Jin Chul for a drink. The association only handled D or E rank gates, while Sung Jin-woo needed rapid growth to save his mother, so he turned down the invite. The scene shifts to America, where Hwang Dong-soo awoke after his beating and met the deputy director about Seong Jin-hoon. They wondered if he was truly a monster. Hwang Dong-soo, bitter, confirmed it. The agency was tracking him, but doubted they'd stop someone who thrashed an S-rank. Seong Jin-hoon had threatened retribution if they touched his family, a humiliation for Hwang Dong-soo. Now, he sought revenge once prepared. Back to Sung Jin-woo, he shopped for top-tier gear, as the hunter world boomed with online auctions, but prices were staggering. He needed full prep for the Demon Castle. Stores lacked what he wanted, so selling system items was the plan, but he'd need a fake backstory from an A-rank gate to avoid suspicion. Conveniently, a recruitment for an A-rank raid popped up online. The next morning, Go Gun-hee was shocked seeing Sung Jin-woo's old photo. He'd changed so much. Jin Chul shared his family's struggles: mother ill, sister in school, Jin-woo's income carrying them. Then, news that he joined a hunter's raid as an E-rank excavator baffled them. At the same time, Sung Jin-woo was hired as an E-rank for the large-scale raid, with clear roles. Attackers slayed monsters, excavators handled the rest. Choi Jong-in led, telling everyone to step back so he could precisely eliminate threats without damaging loot. He reminded the scent-sensitive girl to be careful. Later, they returned unscathed, impressing Sung Jin-woo with their strength. A-rank gates cleared without injuries. He noticed the girl's overwhelming aura, wondering how many like her existed. She sensed a powerful presence but found nothing. It vanished like Go-Gun, He's aura. The excavation team started, and Sung Jin-woo wanted to test the A-rank boss but was bumped by someone who backed off after seeing his eyes. Watching him work, they were shocked at his E-rank strength. During the break, he volunteered for extra duties to sneak to the boss room. Excited, he planned to just nick it, but Cha Hae-in appeared, questioning him. One reason he turned down that invitation was his unyielding drive to keep growing, not to stay stuck in place. The scene shifts to America, where Hwang Dong-soo, after being beaten mercilessly by Jinwoo's father, has finally awakened. The vice director enters to ask a few questions, of course, about that monstrous man, Sung Jin-hoon. He wants to know if that guy is truly a beast. Hwang Dong-soo seethes with rage. He confirms it as fact. Now, the management bureau is desperately hunting for that monstrous man, but they doubt they can touch the one who left him in this state. After hearing this, Dong-soo explodes in shame, seeing it as a deep humiliation. Before, Jinwoo's father had threatened him, warning that if he dared mess with his family, death wouldn't be an escape. For a top hunter to be threatened like that, it's no surprise it's humiliating, so he vows to seek revenge. When the time comes, he'll get his revenge with everything he needs. Meanwhile, Jinwoo is out shopping for high-end gear, as the hunter world is booming, with weapons up for auction online in droves, but the prices are sky-high, leaving him frustrated. He must gear up fully to conquer that demon castle. In the stores, nothing quite catches his eye, so the best plan might be to sell some items for cash. The issue is, people will suspect why an E-rank like him has rare items, so he needs to fake evidence from an A-rank gate. That way, when he sells, no one will trace the origin. Luckily, an online post pops up recruiting for an A-rank dungeon raid. Perfect timing. The next morning, the chairman stares at a photo of Sung from years ago and is shocked at how much he's changed, no longer the naive kid he once was. Jaina adds that their mom is seriously ill and unconscious, while their sister is in school, so Jinwoo's income carries the whole family. Strangely, they hear that this lowlife has just joined a hunter's raid as a scavenger, unbelievable. At the same time, Jinwoo gets hired as an E-rank for the raid. In large-scale operations like this, roles are clearly divided. The attack team just wipes out monsters, while the rest is handled by non-fighters inside. Choi Jong-in leads the charge, ordering everyone to fall back so he can unleash his power, keeping the monster corpses intact for maximum value when sold. He reminds the sharp-nosed girl to be careful with smells, or she'll get sick and regret it. Later they emerge, leaving Jinwoo stunned. Raiding an A-rank gate without a single injury is truly astonishing. Plus, he notices the fierce aura from that girl, Cha Hae-in. It's terrifying. He wonders how many people in the world are like her. She senses someone incredibly strong nearby, but turns and sees nothing. It's like Chairman Go-Gun was here, yet that powerful presence vanishes in an instant. The excavation team gets to work, and Jinwoo wants to test how tough the A-rank boss is, but a guy bumps into him. Knowing he's E-rank, the guy starts to pick a fight, but one look into Jinwoo's eyes makes him back off in fear. After watching him work, the guy is even more shocked. An E-rank working like a beast. At break time, Jinwoo proves his worth by volunteering for more tasks, but really, it's to check out the boss. Excited, he plans to use this 1-hour break for some fun. Seeing the boss room, he desperately wants to take it down, but he can't. The gate would seal, so he settles for a light strike. Before he can act, Cha Hae-in appears, asking what he's up to, catching him off guard since he didn't sense her approach. Jinwoo sighs, wondering what madness made him think of this, and plays it off, saying he just wandered in by mistake. Cha Hae-in warns him this is the boss room. Stay away, as it affects everyone else. She's no ordinary hunter. She already spotted the knife in his hand and made it disappear. Since he apologized, she lets it go, urging him to leave before provoking the boss wipes out the whole excavation team. As he passes her, she calls him back. Cha Hae-in rushes over, sniffing around and startling Jinwoo. She realizes something on him smells familiar. On him there was no stench at all, instead a fresh scent lingered, but she held back, feeling embarrassed. After checking his hunter ID, she realized he was Jinwoo, an E-rank hunter. Cha Hae-in just reminded him to be careful on the roads before letting him go. In her heart, she wondered if it's because he's so low rank that he has no odor. Back with the team, she reported getting lost and meeting Cha Hae-in. Everyone called it luck, as they've only dared to watch her from afar before. She rarely rests and patrols like that to ensure their safety. So many admire her. So young, yet so cautious. Plus, Cha Hae-in hates the smell of other hunters due to her special traits, always needing a scented cloth over her nose. Jinwoo, hearing this, recalled how she sniffed him and thought he must be different from the others, just like the Red Gate's lord said he's not truly human. By evening, the work was done, and Jinwoo got his pay. The uncle praised him for his strength, saying their team finished faster than the collection squad. He even tempted Jinwoo to join permanently with good wages, but he refused. The uncle didn't push, just hoped he'd work one more day since tomorrow there's a raid on gates A and C. Jinwoo sensed something and asked. It turned out the second raid team is going out. That's the power of the association. No other guild in the country can send a second team to raid an A-rank gate, showing their elite forces. That night, Cha Hyein unexpectedly asked someone to investigate Jinwoo. The person on the line said Choi Jong-in had requested the same, but info is confidential for now. Hearing this, she was even more surprised, as it's rare for an E-rank hunter to be protected by the association. Lying in bed, she pieced together info on Jinwoo, freely moving in dungeons, assigned by Choi Jong-in, and now the association locking data at all points to him being extraordinary, especially that enchanting scent that captivated her. The next day, Jinwoo went to work, and everyone greeted him warmly, which reminded him of old times, making him smile. In a good mood, he smashed through the dungeon like a machine, giving the team more breaks. Next, they waited for the A-rank team to exit. Then, someone named Song Ki-hun arrived, asking to borrow a person for transport duty since his side was short-handed. The others were scared of the A-rank gate, so Jinwoo volunteered, as he wanted to go anyway. Everyone tried to stop him, but couldn't. He felt more drawn to Song Ki-hun's team. Their group was larger than yesterday's, with 6 A-rank hunters and 3 B ranks. No S-rank, but that's still impressive compared to other guilds. They entered confidently, as this gate was rated weaker than Cha Hyein's raid team. Inside, Jinwoo felt the magic was less intense than the other dungeon, but a deep unease crept in, like at the red gate. A girl in the team chatted to ease his tension, saying the other hunters are strong, so as long as they're careful, it'll be fine. Song Ki-hun was eager to complete this raid for official approval. When they sensed enemies, everyone geared up for battle without orders. Impressing Jinwoo, this team was full of elites. Their foes were wolves, not too strong, and they coordinated perfectly to take them down. But it was odd. These were only C-rank creatures in an A-rank gate. Jinwoo noticed they wore collars, meaning they were bred for a purpose. His bad feeling was right. Suddenly, 2 orcs appeared, huge and fierce. One charged at the leader, shocking him. Though he blocked it, the impact was massive. The fight turned chaotic, but the hunters were at a disadvantage. Their skills barely worked against these beasts, who were immune to magic damage. The mage tried binding one, but it only slowed it for seconds. Teammates summoned fire warriors for support, their ace card, but even that was held off by 1 orc. The martial artist was skilled, but the numbers overwhelmed her, and soon she fell. The healer worked overtime. Seeing the crisis, as these orcs rivaled A-rank hunters, Jinwoo knew they were in danger, and used stealth to help, silently eliminating threats. The healer was stunned, watching heads suddenly fly off. He weakened the orcs, letting the team finish them. As the orcs rampaged, Jinwoo pondered the chaos, cleverly staying hidden while turning the tide. Victory went to the hunters, and luckily, no one else was hurt. The healer mentioned something odd during the fight. The leader knew and asked if it was the busty girl, but she denied it, saying she only used attack magic. Others claimed innocence, but the black-clad girl knew it was Jinwoo using his stealth skill, which none in their team had. She covered for him, saying whatever the reason, a win is a win, shifting focus and calling it luck. She felt like he was guiding them all, but respected his secrets. Some asked if they should continue, suggesting they need more healers. They knew this was crucial for Song Ki-hun, but safety came first. He hesitated, reminding Jinwoo of past risks, but Song Ki-hun wisely chose retreat, agreeing to plan later. Everyone was relieved, as pushing on would be suicide. He said he's not foolish enough to endanger them, goals matter, but so does survival. Yet, as they tried to leave the gate, they found it sealed by a powerful barrier. Their mages couldn't break it. The black-clad girl thought it was lucky they chose to retreat, or they'd all be doomed by this advanced magic. Then, a terrifying magic surge threatened them all, so strong even B-ranks felt it, but outsiders didn't. 3 mages were cursed, trying to dispel it. Turning around, they were shocked to face an army of armed orcs. The leader knew fighting meant death, so he talked. The orc leader, possessed by the dungeon boss, introduced himself as Kargan, demanding to meet them. Song Ki-hun asked if their escape was blocked. It was. Kargan claimed to be the noble orc archmage. Song Ki-hun wondered if anyone here was stronger. He was mocked. They had 2 choices, die here or meet him. The leader chose to stall, agreeing to follow. He entrusted Jinwoo. When they attack the boss, escape and contact the main force. Kargan can't maintain the barrier in battle. The orc asked if they wanted to die. They were ready, their goal to close the gate, not just survive. The healer asked Jinwoo to deliver her last words to her family. They'd fulfill their mission to the end, but he shouldn't die here. She hoped he'd live and return. Cha Haein arrived searching for Jinwoo, and the uncle asked why she was here on her day off. She wanted to know where the E-rank hunter was. He said he went into the dungeon for supplies. The A-rank team entered Kargan's lair, facing thousands of soldiers. If they fought, it'd be endless. He greeted them, saying they finally arrived. Cha Haein was puzzled why an E-rank hunter would carry loads in an A-rank dungeon. It's reckless, suggesting something's off. She saw him with a weapon near the boss room before, so it must be true. With no other way, she decided to enter personally, asking the uncle for any weapon. He only had a spear, so she took it. Initially, she thought of going bare-handed, but decided it's better than nothing. Back to Jinwoo, surrounded by the orc army's intimidating presence, their numbers far exceeded expectations. If these orcs escaped, the city would fall, especially the strong ones. The A-rank team's mission was to close the gate, but the boss was terrifying. Kargan asked if he was that scary, then unleashed pressure. The mages felt it most, like mere novices against him. Song Ki-hun nervously asked why he brought them. The archmage said for his army's entertainment, killing them slowly for his soldiers' amusement. Hearing this, they were terrified, as A-rank hunters were just toys to him. Despite that, Song Ki-hun attacked, but Kargan sensed a strange one among them, Jinwoo. The leader ordered an assault, but everyone was frozen in fear, blocked by a protective spell. Kargan used gravity magic to toss Song Ki-hun around brutally. Witnessing this, the team despaired, but Jinwoo stepped in, catching him and asking if he could handle all the orcs. As an outsider, he had no right, but they were in mortal danger. A guard moved, but Jinwoo snapped its neck and threw it aside, shocking everyone. Song Ki-hun realized Jinwoo was powerful and entrusted him. Kargan scoffed at him, mimicking his moves. But if that's all, it's nothing. Jinwoo burst with power, admitting it's his first time facing such a strong foe, but they've met their worst nightmare. His shadow army appeared, clashing with the orcs. Though fewer, Jinwoo was confident. Outside, Jinchul arrived to investigate why an S-rank was doing menial work. The uncle greeted him and was asked about Jinwoo. The one threatened before came forward, claiming Jinwoo was suspicious, thinking he was marked for death. After learning he was inside, Jinchul was surprised an emerging S-rank doing odd jobs. He said check the news tomorrow for details. The uncle added that Cha Haein went in too, making Jinchul uneasy. He ordered a magic scan. They found monster bodies, speeding up the search, sensing danger. Jinwoo was underestimated for his small army against Kargan's forces. He didn't like being undervalued and activated his new skill, Ruler's Domain, boosting his shadow soldiers after reaching floor 70 in the demon castle. His shadows had evolved. The team was stunned. Even top summoners could only call 2, yet Jinwoo commanded an army. The black-clad girl wondered how a human could wield such fearsome magic. Iron taunted the orcs and finished them swiftly. Iris stood dominant, slaughtering any that approached. With numbers overwhelming, Jinwoo joined, leaving destruction in his wake. His movement mirrored Cha Haein's, making them curious why such a strong one did menial work. By calculations, his shadow soldiers were slightly above B rank, needing 4 or 5 to kill an orc, but they regenerated endlessly, no problem. Kargan, seeing Jinwoo's arrogance, attacked, summoning a dragon head, calling his troops puppets. Jinwoo retorted that Kargan was the arrogant one. The crystals assaulted, but he dodged easily, then rocks bombarded the area, felling shadows and draining his mana. Kargan aimed to exhaust him. He unleashed flames, forcing everyone to flee. Jinwoo realized the strategy was to keep distance. Outside, scans showed the gate neared S-rank. Jinchul contacted the association chairman for countermeasures and entered to help. Jinwoo stayed calm despite low mana. Kargan thought victory was clear, but Jinwoo mocked him, saying he'd just use a potion. He unleashed his true power, banishing the monsters and declaring the rest would be his shadows, including Kargan. Under this pressure, Kargan felt unease, his mind echoing memories of a great king, questioning his purpose to hunt humans. He sent 3 guards to fight. Iron and Igris dominated, easily defeating them, delighting Jinwoo. His guards were superior. Kargan sensed defeat and barred outsiders, making it personal. He cast spells on Jinwoo, but they shattered. Jinwoo laughed, immune to poisons and curses. He summoned mages, boosting them with gems, and a single fire blast shattered Kargan's shield. The archmage was in agony. Cha Haein arrived, confused by monsters fighting each other. Others asked why she was here. She couldn't explain Jinwoo's actions. Kargan enhanced himself, growing larger, which Jinwoo disliked due to past giants. Dragon heads attacked, incinerating everything. Jinwoo charged, stabbing his eye, asking if he knew bigger targets are easier to hit. Without guards, Kargan was vulnerable. Flames swept the field, but Jinwoo dodged agilely, striking back. His daggers weren't enough, so he chained Kargan, slamming him down. Jinchul and Cha Haein arrived, asking his purpose. He said support, but it might be unnecessary. Cha Haein asked about the spear. She blushed, wondering if she looked odd. The next day, Song Ki-hoon reported to Choi Jong-in, who felt lucky they survived. Now, both White Tiger and Hunters owed Jin-woo. Hearing his abilities, Choi was in disbelief. Song Ki-hoon was asked who was stronger. It's hard to say, so he flipped the question if the chairman could solo an A-rank gate. Choi admitted he couldn't without support. Song Ki-hoon hoped they'd recruit Jin-woo. Choi said he'd try. Meanwhile, Jin-woo met Jin-ho to discuss his guild, while at the association a big event drew reporters around Lim Sung. Byun Woo-ho of White Tiger and Choi Jong-in of Hunters arrived. Reporters asked if it was for Lim Sung. Choi said no, he signed with Death Guild. They left, and Byun mentioned the A-rank gate's S-level threat. Choi teased back about the Red Gate. Both owed Jin-woo for stopping disasters, leading to rivalry over recruiting S-ranks. Tension rose until the Death Guild chairman teased them about targeting his man. They snapped back, but united in denial. Jin-woo arrived, overwhelmed by the crowd, feeling awkward as he went for his checkup. Inside, they tested his powers. He summoned a shadow soldier, calling it summoning magic. The chairman suspected more, so Jin-woo revealed his full army, shocking them stronger than a major guild. After certification as S-rank, Jin-woo was excited to sell items without suspicion and buy gear for the Demon Castle. They congratulated him on the highest title, expecting great feats. Choi invited him to thank him, but Jin-woo said he had plans and left, straight into reporters. News of the 10th S-rank spread. Song Yi was shocked, and his old team was thrilled. Lim Sung was furious but blocked. The supervisor covered for Jin-woo, asking everyone to keep it secret. Song Ki-hoon thanked him deeply, and they bowed, making Jin-woo happy. He returned the healer's message. Cha Hae-in tried to talk, but he teased her about the spear, making her blush and wonder if she seemed weird. The next day, Song Ki-hoon reported, and Choi felt fortunate. Both guilds owed Jin-woo. He couldn't believe his powers and hoped to recruit him. At the association, reporters focused on Lim Sung, but Byun and Choi denied it, mentioning the A-rank crisis and Jin-woo. They argued over top guild status until the death chairman interrupted. It's for another matter, so the reporters leave, letting the two guild masters enter. Baek Yeon-ho mentions the A-rank gate that turned into an S-rank disaster. Choi Jong-in mocks back, saying, "Is that worse than the Red Gate that wiped out White Tiger Guild hunters?" Their words fly back and forth, but they both end up thanking Jin-woo for stopping the catastrophe. As old rivals, they start bickering again, asking if the other is recruiting S-ranks to compete for the top spot. Tensions rise until the Death Guild master steps in, teasing if they're after his Min Sungs. They snap back, insisting they don't know who that is, but their bond shines through, leaving their friends speechless. Jin-woo, outside, wonders why it's so crowded today and feels awkward checking in. The scene shifts to school, where Jaina and Song-wai chat, but their friends buzz about their idol becoming a hunter, with the association excited over Lim Sung's appearance. He steps up, declaring his awakening as an A-rank and vowing to serve the country under Guildmaster Lim Tae-gyu. On quitting entertainment, he secretly thinks that's never happening. With a 2-year contract as an A-rank for the Death Guild, it'll launch his career even higher. Just then, Jin-woo enters for his assessment, but Lim Sung's guards block him, asking if he sees the reporters working. Jin-woo says he has business here, but they won't let him through. Lim Sung thinks this guy has no sense, and the guard orders him away, saying the path is restricted until Chairman Go Gun-hee arrives. He scolds them for blocking people, introducing Jin-woo as his guest and asking if they have issues. He reminds them he ordered all interviews paused. Lim Sung backs down silently as Go Gun-hee escorts Jin-woo, driving the media wild with curiosity about this mysterious figure. Lim Sung fumes, trying to draw attention, but Jaina stops him, whispering if he knows who this is, and warning that one word from Go Gun-hee could end him. Jaina says she doesn't know Lim Sung, but if he causes trouble, he'll regret it. Inside, Jin-woo is welcomed with respect as the two leaders greet him and want to see his true power after all. S-ranks are rare, and recruiting him could change everything. In a private room, before deciding, they ask about his abilities, so he summons a shadow soldier, explaining this is his skill. Summoning? Well, he just went along with it, but in reality it wasn't that simple. Hunter Hai saw Jin-woo hiding it so carefully, not being upfront at all. He'd already heard the reports from the department head, knowing Jin-woo's power was far more than this. Jin-woo sighed, thinking, well, since it's out now, might as well show them. Instantly, the army of shadows appeared, leaving the two outsiders in total shock. There's still more to it, though. It's not just these. Jin-woo could summon hundreds more. Guildmaster Gun stared in wide-eyed amazement at the sheer numbers, which were even stronger than a full guild. Choi Dong-in felt the overwhelming surge of magical energy and turned pale with fear. Even Byun-ho was completely overpowered, unable to match Jin-woo's might. So, this is the power of the one who helped the two major guilds overcome their crises. Soon after, the inspection process finished, and Jinwoo received his license. As a new rank S hunter, this is cause for celebration now. He can sell mana stones without suspicion and use the money to gear up for conquering the Demon Tower once more. His friend congratulated him on reaching the highest rank, full of high hopes for the achievements ahead. Jinwoo was on his way when the two guildmasters stepped up to greet and invite Choi Dong in. I hoped today would offer a brief moment to thank them for the recent gate incident, but Jinwoo brushed it off and dashed away, saying he had an appointment. Before they could stop him, he flung the door open and stepped out. As a result, reporters thrust cameras in his face, and news about the 10th rank S hunter spread far and wide. Song Yi at school was utterly shocked, turning to Gina to check if she was seeing things wrong. Both of them were stunned, never expecting him to draw so much attention. So, at the construction site, those who worked with Jinwoo felt the same way. The big boss thought he was a killer at first, but upon seeing the news he was utterly stunned. Jinwoo's acquaintances were thrilled, as they all cared for him deeply. The media swarmed in for interviews with the 10th rank S hunter, turning Lee Min-sung into a laughingstock. Meanwhile, Jinho was gloomily chatting with his father about failing to convince his brother to join the guild. Jinwoo explained he had the most important mission to handle alone, so he'd fight more on his own. Joining any organization would just hold him back. The best move was to start his own guild and invite his brother and team. His father asked if he realized how selfish that was. Originally, this plan was meant for Jin-sung, but Jinwoo had stepped in and disrupted everything, and now he was thinking of walking away from the responsibility. Told to just cut ties and leave with him, Jinwoo still chose to go with his beloved brother Jinwoo. Hearing this, his father wanted to set things straight about it all. Meanwhile, as Jinwoo was being advised to join him, he refused, saying it was fine, and vanished right before everyone's eyes. Choi Dong-in was left speechless. What kind of mage moves like a ghost? Turning to his friend, he saw a cold, unreadable expression. There wasn't a drop of blood left in him from the sheer intensity. This speed was beyond anything he could track compared to that fateful night. Jinwoo was even more terrifying now, leaving Byunho baffled. After being announced as rank S, Jinwoo immediately went shopping for gear. What he sought was an artifact armor with fire resistance. The seller showcased a top-tier cloak that caught his eye, but the sky-high price left him bewildered. They even said, if you break this glass, I'll give it to you for free. Jinwoo almost does it but gets stopped, saying it was just a joke to lighten things up. If he did, security would cause trouble. The old man is startled as the store's proud glass cracks under Jinwoo's pressure alone. He asks about the price of those daggers, shocked at how expensive they are, even for low-level monster fangs. Suddenly, Jinwoo pulls out a knife he bought earlier, asking its value. After inspecting it, they say it's finely crafted and could sell for about 100 million. Jinwoo is baffled since he got it for just 2.8 million gold. If that's the case, no need to sell. He can buy system weapons and resell them for profit. That night, Baek-Yoonho reflects. He's met Jinwoo twice and knows he's strong, but to improve so fast in such a short time, could he get even stronger? Or is his power limitless? Early morning, Gina looks out the window and sighs in relief that the crowds are gone, thanks to the association's intervention. She scolds her brother for being famous now and to live properly, mentioning he'll be away for a week again, leaving her confused. Just then, Jinho shows up asking to crash, since he fought with his dad and got kicked out. Jinwoo gives him a weary look and plays along, saying he'll be on a business trip with his brother to fool Gina. That night, worried for his sister, Jinwoo summons his shadows. One is missing, apparently on the roof. He assigns another shadow guard, plus 2 soldiers to protect Gina while he's gone, then slips into her shadow. He also sets up infantry around the area as his contribution to society. The next morning, the brothers head out. Jinwoo vaguely says it's like extra training, surprising his brother. Fully geared now, Jinwoo feels no heat anymore. The next quest appears: collect the soul of Demon Lord Baron for the reward of shadow exchange skill. Excited, he gains new motivation to grind. He teleports to floor 76 to fight. While at Jinho's family, his mom misses him, seeing it as a chance for independence, but his dad senses something odd and collapses. Back with Jinwoo, facing a monster as big as buildings, he summons Baru to handle it. He equips Baru with the Greed Stone to double his strength. Transformed into a giant, Baru unleashes a devastating blast, obliterating the area. Impressed by how well Baru uses the stone, Jinwoo lets him keep it. At the hospital, Jinho's dad is diagnosed with eternal sleep disease, making him fall asleep forever. Ironically, in a world full of magic, he has no resistance, leaving this illness unsolved. The scene shifts to an island where terrifying ants, once feared by hunters, have crossed the sea. Jinwoo, meanwhile, is taking it easy, dividing his army into small groups for efficient sweeps. To reach higher floors, he needs a pass, so finding it quickly will speed up his tower climb. 2 days in, Jinwoo is stuck on floor 80. His mana keeps dropping because someone is killing his shadow soldiers, slowing his search. Analyzing it, he realizes the attackers target weak groups, proving they're clever. Guessing the next hit is on Baru's group, he sets an ambush. Sure enough, 4 heavily armed demons appear, easily taking down the bears. Jinwoo steps in, becoming the new target, but with one kick he sends a demon flying. His allies rush in for the kill but get sliced apart. Jinwoo has always wondered if monsters feel fear, and now he has his answer.